Over the past 2 weeks, we've been knocking it out the park. When Bitcoin went down to 100K, I said hold the fort. When Bitcoin went up to 108K, and everybody was like, oh, this is the top, this is the short-term top. I said, no, look at this. Back in, or 2 weeks ago, 69 views. Are you kidding me? I said 125K next. We were under 110. A couple days later, I said ETH is about to skyrocket. This was 6 days ago. Everybody was like, no, ETH's not going to break 3,000. I said, look at the whales. Look at what the big players are doing. They know something. What's going on? ETH broke out today. Bitcoin, all-time high incoming. We've been giving you the sauce. We've been giving the cool kids everything you need to be prepared in these markets, everything you need to be prepared for the next leg up. And I think this is going to continue. I really think this is going to continue. I don't know how these tariffs are going to play out August 1st, so we do have to keep that in mind. I will say that we do have to keep that in mind. But for the most part, in this video, I want to talk about altcoins. I want to look at Bitcoin dominance, and I want to see where the sentiment is. I want you to comment below, how are you feeling about crypto? How are you feeling about your altcoins? Because a lot of my community, a lot of the people in the cool kids, and a lot of people in general are in altcoins. So now we're looking at Bitcoin dominance start to fall, Bitcoin dominance start to test the line that we're going to talk about. Matter of fact, let's just jump right into it. We're doing too much talking. Let's jump right into it. What I'm looking at right now, let's go over to the charts. What I'm looking at right now for Bitcoin, let's move my mic over here. I'm looking at Bitcoin dominance. Bitcoin dominance is down to 63%, and it's falling and falling fast. And this is what we've been talking about over the past few months. We said we were in this channel. Let's actually make this bigger because we need to get the whole scope. We said, look for Bitcoin dominance to start to fall out of this channel. And this channel has been going ever since the FTX collapse. A little bit before the FTX collapse, this is when this channel started. So we looked at this channel all the way back. We'll just start from the FTX collapse in November of 2022. Up, down, up, down, up, down. So it's been up and down. We did have a deviation here at the end of 2024 when we got the election and altcoins went bananas. Once we got Trump coin came out, and then altcoins started to go crazy once Trump got elected. But we inevitably came back into our channel, went all the way up to 60, almost 65%, came back down, and then now we topped out coming around 66%. So me personally, I thought, and it still may happen, that we were going to at least go or test the top of this channel one more time, coming in at about 68%. But if this is indeed the end of this channel, the end of this run and altcoin season, we have this all this area. This is all this area is altcoin season. This will all be altcoin season. But what I want to see for us to have a sustainable altcoin season, let me get my drawing tool, is for us to break down and confirm the breakdown, retest down. So altcoin season really starts around 60% and below. So watch out for that number in Bitcoin dominance. You really want to watch that that 60% and below. Now, once we get in the 50s, the high 50s, now altcoins are moving. Now some of your favorite altcoins, some of your favorite higher cap coins are going to move. Once we get down here, now we're getting riskier. Now those really low cap altcoins are going to start flying. Some of them are already flying. Don't get me wrong. But when we get back down into that area, if we get back down, I don't know when, because Bitcoin has been very strong this cycle. But if we get back down to those low 50s, high 40s, that is when the life-changing gains will happen in a well-rounded approach, not just here and there, because we can always find some good gems, some hidden gems that's gonna do 30, 40x. But once it gets down, or if it gets down to those low 50s, high 40s, that's when the life-changing gains will really happen, and that's what we're waiting on. But really, honestly, what I wanted to see, I want to see possibly a deviation, come back in, come back up. Bitcoin goes up to about 140, 150K. Then we get the rollover. Then we start to get this coming down out of that channel. Then we get to altcoin season. I think the more strength Bitcoin can gain, like it's just like a ball, holding a ball underwater. Altcoins are ready, but you got to get more strength. You got to build up that pressure, and that pressure is Bitcoin continuing to go up, Bitcoin dominance continuing to go up, and Bitcoin continuing to bring fresh liquidity into the market. What we don't want, here, you need to see me for this one. What we don't want is for just ping pong. We don't want Bitcoin to get it, then back to altcoins, then back to Bitcoin, then back to altcoins. We want fresh liquidity coming into Bitcoin, and then fresh liquidity going into altcoins. And that's usually how altcoin season really starts and really begins, and how the cycle of the altcoin season cycle, progresses throughout the overall cycle. So that's what we're looking at, man. And I want to make this a really quick video. I just want to look at Ethereum. So Ethereum, we talked about Ethereum 6 days ago. We said Ethereum is about to skyrocket. We made the video around this here, and this trend line has been let's do this. This trend line has been one that we have been following ever since we came down to our low around the beginning of April. Bounced up, and then this is where we made that call. We said if we flipped 2,800, we were about 2,700. We said we wanted to flip 2,800. I'm not even showing my screen. Let's actually go back here. We said if we flip that $2,800 level, our next area of interest would be 3,500. We didn't quite get to 3,500 yet. We got up to 3,425, but I do believe this week we will get up to that 35K or that $3,500 level for Ethereum. So Ethereum strength is good for the overall altcoin market, because like we talked about a little bit earlier in the video, Ethereum was usually the next in line to get the liquidity flow. Then it was, higher cap coins after Ethereum, and then it was the more mid to low cap coins. So this cycle has been different. Ethereum has been a major lagger. Who would have thought that Bitcoin would be at $119,000 and Ethereum would be at 33 or 3,400 right now? I wouldn't have thought that in my wildest dreams. So now I think Ethereum has a lot to play catch up. I think the Genius Act, which was passed to be voted on in the House today or something like that, I think now the CFTC will regulate Bitcoin and Ethereum. I think that's what it said, and then everything else will fall under the SEC's guidelines. So the CFTC, they deal with commodities. So I'm thinking, of course, Bitcoin. We know Bitcoin. They say Bitcoin is being held or deemed as a commodity. Now I think they're saying Ethereum is also being deemed as a commodity. So the Ethereum ecosystem will continue to thrive. If Ethereum continues to thrive, and Ethereum being deemed as a commodity is very, very good. You don't want to be deemed as a security. That's a tougher road ahead. If you're in the crypto space, if you're a project, a coin, you have a coin, something like that. Stocks are securities, but I think it's a harder path, a harder road, a harder way to navigate through the rules and regulations dealing with the SEC as opposed to the CFTC. So shout out to Ethereum, man. We've been waiting a long time. We've been talking about Ethereum for the past 4 years. I think my average entry, I just looked earlier, is about $700 or $800 for Ethereum. So I'm up 8, 16, 24, almost about a 4x on my Ethereum bag. So that's pretty good. I'm hoping Ethereum can get to at least 5,000. That's the short-term goal for Ethereum, and I think that's very doable once the market starts to ramp up. Let's just go through some more quick coins today. Solana got all the way up to about $175. We wanted to see us touch that 185. I think we'll get there, possibly going into the weekly close. So we'll see if the momentum for crypto as a whole, specifically really the altcoins, can maintain this flow. Bonk went bananas today. I should have traded that. I wasn't even looking at that. I traded something start with an F. I can't even remember what I traded over on BYDFI. Make sure you guys go down in the link below. I got a massive deal going on. You deposit 100, you get 60. Deposit 500, you get 100. So I got a really good deal with BYDFI right now, if you guys know how to trade over there. So make sure you guys go and check that out. Sui, we did go get above $4, but we had a nice little pullback coming back down. Right now we're sitting at $3.95. And XRP, let's talk about XRP really quick, because XRP has finally got back above that $3 level, which we wanted to see, and we want to hold this level. Cycle highs is coming in at about $3.40. So I think we can take that out if the market remains bullish. I think we can take that out fairly easy, and then coming back in for all-time highs for XRP. XRP and Bitcoin are my long-term holds, and I might have to put Ethereum back in there. I'm not gonna lie, Ethereum is looking good. Ethereum is looking like it's going to be deemed as a commodity. The whales are buying it, as we talked about in my video 6 days ago. So congratulations, man, if you're still here. If you did not leave, you know, we talked about it. I keep telling people, like, crypto, man, you have to have thick skin and you have to have patience for crypto. Crypto really don't move like that, but when it moves, it moves. Like, we get maybe, if 12 months out the year, we probably get 3 months of just massive movement. I say 3 to 4 months of just massive movement. Other than that, it's just maybe down, a little sideways, a little choppy, a little boring. But those 3, I don't even know if it's 4 months. I might actually have to look. But those times when it does move, it really, really moves, and the FOMO starts to kick in. And no matter how long you've been in crypto, that FOMO hits. You really realize that you should have bought more Bitcoin. You should have bought more crypto. You should have held your trades longer. It's a never-ending cycle when the market gets to moving. So we're gonna practice being cool, calm, collected. Staying rational in irrational markets, and staying ahead of the market, staying ahead of what's coming, what's going on, what's gonna happen, and just trying to stay in tune and locking in money. We don't want to round trip. We want to lock in our gains. We want to lock in our money. And I think everybody, I think if you subscribe to this channel, I think you'll do good. I think you'll do good. I've been making some fire calls. Not wanting to pat myself on the back, but some of my videos get 60, 70, 100 views, and it's so much alpha packed into it. I just really want the world to see what I can do, and I want to help people, and I think I can help people. And we've been, the receipts, the numbers don't lie, and I got receipts. Check all down my timeline, all down my videos, man. You can see my calls, some of my calls coming from 2023, 2024, going into 2025. We got the first part of 2025 wrong. We thought Ethereum was going to lead the charge, just like the past cycles, but this cycle has been different. But for the most part, we've been making some significant gains, and we've been helping the Cool Kids Alpha Club do the same by putting in some trade setups, real-time thoughts, analysis, and just, things like that. So if you do want to come over to the free Telegram, it will be in the pinned comments. And that's pretty much it, man. Congratulations, everybody. I will be here full time every day, no days off. The time is now to change your life. My thesis of Q4 being crazy is definitely looking like it's going to play out. So this is FD White. I appreciate everybody for watching. I'll see you in a minute. Peace.